are 6 nights away from the Royal Rumble on Sunday night. Tonight on Monday Night Raw was their go-home show for this Sunday's big pay-per-view. How did WWE get you guys excited about the Royal Rumble on Sunday? Rey Mysterio and Andrade battled it out for the United States Championship in a ladder match so physical that one has to wonder if they will even be in the Royal Rumble. Rollins put everybody to sleep pretending that he was a priest in front of a church tonight with that opening promo. He put me to sleep as if I was sitting in church for Mass on Sunday. And then he challenges the Viking Raiders with Buddy Murphy for the Raw Tag Team Championships. One has to wonder why that isn't going to the authors of pain. Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton, first their enemies, then their friends, then their enemies again. And then Drew McIntyre thinks he's going to win the Royal Rumble on Sunday. Ricochet thinks he can eliminate Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble. Oh my God. And then we got Liv Morgan teaming with Rusev against Bobby Lashley and Lana. Bro, where's the remote control? Please get off my TV. Folks, I am the Monday Night Messiah. Forget Seth Rollins. And I'm going to guide you to what was yet another disappointing episode of Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script.
Is this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, hipster hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script.
Man, I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. It is 10:56. I just hit record on the podcast, and I cannot sit and watch Rusev, Lana, Lashley. I don't mind watching Liv Morgan, but I can't watch any of this garbage, especially in the main event. I cannot watch any of this garbage close a go-home show for the Royal Rumble. Now, I have one simple question, and tonight I'm going to have a variety of questions for everybody because it seems like WWE was drinking with Adam Hangman Page. They might have been on the Jericho cruise with the creative on this show. I got a variety of questions that I'm going to be asking tonight, one of which I'm going to throw at you guys right now. I don't understand how anybody could justify this being in the main event when you have a ladder match with Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien for the United States Championship. Now, I don't want to hear the counter or the counter argument of, oh, well, you can't really end on that no reaction for Humberto Carrillo when he came out to attack Andrade after the match was over. Here is a simple solution for that. You don't book Humberto Carrillo in that spot in the main event. I don't know what else to tell you. Why wasn't that in the main event of this show? Why do we have to sit through? No, I didn't. I walked away. I have to take a stand at some point. I do the same thing with Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin week after week after week. I just walk away. Couldn't do it. And I honestly, if you guys are looking for a review on whatever happened at the end of the show, I'll talk about it on Friday when I do Off the Script. I'm not talking about it here because, quite frankly, I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. This was an up and down episode of Monday Night Raw. Had some good parts to it. It wasn't all bad. I'm not going to be negative throughout most of the show. But man, this show ultimately at the end of the day just sucked. It just sucks. Some of the creative decisions, man, they usually swing in that other direction where it just sucks. Nothing makes sense. I have more questions than anything when I usually watch this show. I never just watch and enjoy and accept what they do. Like when I watch NXT, I accept what they do. I accept what they do on that show. On this show, I don't accept anything. I got questions upon questions upon questions, and I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that this wasn't a go-home show for the Royal Rumble. I don't know how. Now, again, in typical WWE fashion, WWE doesn't do anything to really build the Royal Rumble anyway. They expect you to watch regardless because it's the Royal Rumble. But I mean, give me a break, man. At some point, you gotta show some sort of creativity and stop being lazy. Seriously, this is WrestleMania season. It starts with the Royal Rumble. Get me excited. Did you see? What are the things I'm going to pinpoint tonight on this show? Did you see the field of people in the Royal Rumble? I look at that. I don't anticipate anybody outside of a John Cena. If he's in it, I'm going with him because he was my original pick. At this point, no, I've been crying for Matt Riddle to win the Royal Rumble because I think WWE owes it to us to build new stars. That is a main event that I would love to see at WrestleMania. And with Paul Heyman sitting there with Riddle and Lesnar and, you know, having a say in that match and putting his input there on what happens, I think it would be a phenomenal WrestleMania match. I know that's not going to happen. WWE doesn't have the balls to do that. John Cena is the only other one because he's WWE. He's Vince's guy. But nobody knows what's going to happen. Cena could come out at number 30, win it all. Or if you believe the reports that I went over this past weekend, Cena doesn't want to break Ric Flair's record. He doesn't want the World Championship at this point in his career. Now, that makes some of you happy. I take Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar would be a fantastic main event for WrestleMania. It's in the same way I think about Riddle, putting over somebody new. And you would believe in a Riddle. You would believe in a Drew McIntyre. You know, at some point you would believe in a John Cena too, because he's John Cena. But I don't think WWE has the balls to do any of that. Now look at the field of people in the Royal Rumble. Do you believe legitimately like any one of those guys is going to win outside of Roman Reigns? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. This is, it's certainly looking like it's going to be. This is, or at least it could have the potential to be one of the more underwhelming Royal Rumbles in WWE history. I don't get it. I really don't understand it, man. I am not excited at all. I'm really not. I wish I could go back to the days in where I was excited about the Royal Rumble, you know? And I talked about this in different parts of the podcast over the last couple of weeks. They got to book the Royal Rumble to be more than just one or two guys that legitimately could win it. It's not going to be fun to watch knowing that, oh, Roman Reigns is coming out. He's the winner of the 2020 Royal Rumble. It's not fun. It's not fun. It seems like that report of 10 from NXT, 10 from SmackDown, and 10 from Raw is completely not happening at this point. There might be an NXT guy sprinkled in. You might see a Matt Riddle and a Keith Lee in the Royal Rumble. You might see a Velveteen Dream in there if he's healthy. But outside that news report and that rumor about 10 is not going to happen. And I am not excited about this Royal Rumble, man. I like I said, when I was younger, I was so excited about the Royal Rumble. And now, as we get older and we watch the Rumble happen year after year after year, it's more fear than anything. It's more setting yourself up for disappointment than anything. I don't know how else to feel. I know you guys feel the same way. And disappointment really speaks to me when watching a show like this tonight in Monday Night Raw. I'm just disappointed. I really am. And I don't mean to start everything off negative. I want you guys to come here and I'm negative, but I'm not negative for the sake of being negative. I'm negative because WWE forces me to be negative, man. I want to enjoy this shit. I really do. But I can't. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for joining me here tonight on the podcast. This is Off the Script, your Monday Night Raw review for January 20th, 2020. And we are going to go over everything that happened on this show tonight. If you want to, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Turn on that bell for all notifications. I would really, really appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up, man. That's also something I would love you guys for if you could do that. Hit that thumbs up. You don't know how important the thumbs up is. You don't know how important leaving a comment is. I want you guys to do all that, man. It really pushes out the video, and it tells YouTube that there's a lot of engagement on this video, and they would be more open to push the video out to the recommended feed. So make sure you guys do all of that for me, and I would love you for it. So thank you guys so very much for that. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram as well. We're going to start off Seth Rollins, the fake Monday Night Messiah. I am the Monday Night Messiah. He stole that gimmick from me. Copyright infringement, Mr. Rollins. So we got Rollins walking out. He's accompanied by AOP and his new disciple, Buddy Murphy. Now, we have Rollins and his entourage here in the ring. And he is in the ring. We see a video package of what he did last week and really embracing Buddy Murphy after that fist fight on Raw in the main event last week. Seth said the battle lines are drawn and everyone else has to decide if they are with him or against him. Now, I was against him. I am slowly turning to the other side, but I told you this was going to happen. When he is a heel, he is likable. When he's a babyface, he's disgusting. So a simple turn has almost, not quite there yet, almost rectified all of WWE's mistakes. It might be that they rectified the mistakes, but they will never be forgotten. The mistakes that they made will never be forgotten. Hell in a Cell. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you guys don't remember that. Or WWE has brainwashed you not to care. Kevin Owens then walked out. I hate it. It's like, scene 2. There you go. Go on out there. I hate when someone's in the ring. It really irks the shit out of me. I don't know what it is about it. It just feels so unnatural. When someone's in the ring and we get someone cutting a promo and then cue theme music, out comes the next scene. Come on. Can't Kevin Owens come out there with a microphone just doing what he does best? Talk? Seriously? And then Joe's music hits and now they're both out there? Come on. I wish that they just came out with no theme music and we just get them talking because they are two of the best talkers in this company. So Joe is out there with Owens. Owens told Joe he talks too much. Kevin Owens said taking out the Big Show is no easy task. I wish it was. We wouldn't see him ever. Big Show is no easy task, and they should be proud of themselves. Sure, WWE was proud to book the Big Show in the main event on a Monday Night Raw in 2020. Sure, they were very proud of that. So Big Show will be back to deal with them eventually, though. Thank you for disappointing me within the first 5 minutes, Mr. Owens. So their bigger problem is they didn't get rid of him and Joe. He said he's sure the great people of Kansas agree with me. So Seth then said if they want to fight, they can fight, but they aren't going to right now. We need to decide on a proper time and a proper place to fight. Joe told Kevin he thinks he sees a self-proclaimed Monday Night Messiah, but what he's hearing is another lame, lawyered-up asshat. This is the actual verbiage that Samoa Joe used in this opening segment. Let me repeat that. Joe told Kevin Owens he thinks he sees a self-proclaimed Monday Night Messiah. But what he's looking at and hearing is another lame lawyered up asshat. So Lawler then said, oh, he can't say that. Why? Why, are we too pussified in 2020 to use the word asshat? Now, I would have said something completely different, but that's just me. I think Joe could have done a little bit better with the verbiage there. Come on. Even Joe saying something like asshat is not going to make asshat sounds cool or sound cool. What are we in, fucking third grade? Seth said he is a very forgiving man. It's how I am as a human, he says. So if he is a very forgiving man, then maybe he'll unblock me on Twitter. Throwing that out there, Mr. Rollins. You're a very forgiving man, so unblock JD on Twitter. Said if the two of them are hell-bent on fighting the four of them, then there's not much left to say other than come down and dance with Destiny. Now, I'll be on Destiny tomorrow. I got to go get my new fusion rifle, Exotic Bastion, tomorrow. I don't know what you're talking about. Got to throw in the Destiny reference in there, man. Even though the game sucks, and it's very boring. What happened? These fucking games are all boring, man. I'm going to end up going back to fucking Black Ops 4, to be honest with you. Joe said one of the side effects of being an asshat, so that's the second time he mentioned this in this promo. It doesn't sound any more cooler than the first time. It's not being a good listener. Good listener? Go look at the man in charge of this show. That's the definition of not a good listener. Because they were ready for a fight, and they aren't the only ones. So the Viking Raiders, Ivar and Erick, come down, and they all stand on stage. They march to the ring, and there's a big brawl in the ring with all 8 guys, and that was it. I don't know about this segment, man. I said it on social media. I did not like this segment with Rollins. He was just very deliberate in his approach while reiterating this promo. I swear to God, man, it's almost as if he legitimately thinks he is in church speaking to all of his followers and disciples. And I legitimately felt like I was in church on Sunday during Mass. I was legitimately falling asleep. He made me feel like I was really in church on a Sunday morning. It's not what I want to feel when I watch a heel promo on a pro wrestling show. I don't know what it was, but this really didn't come off too well to me. I don't know. I don't know what you guys thought about it. It was very deliberate. It was very long and just drawn out, extended. Could have been shaved down a couple of minutes easy. And the pacing of the promo from Rollins and his delivery could have been a little bit more natural. You know? I don't think it came off natural at all. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, I like the vibe of what he's going for. And it's not perfect yet. And I like the addition of Buddy Murphy. And I like the addition of the Viking Raiders in this situation because it makes sense. You know, who else was it going to be now that the Big Show is taken out of the equation? Ivar and Erick make perfect sense. Because realistically, you have to think about it. In this moment, while you're watching this segment, who are the Viking Raiders going to feud with on this show? This is much better than them feuding with some fucking local Petco employees. I mean, this makes sense. The AOP are the only other team that they have not been in the ring with. So the addition of them in this equation made sense. But then I will take all of that back when we get to the match that happened later on in the evening. But this was okay. It wasn't great. And Rollins, I didn't like his delivery on this, and it was a little bit too drawn out for me. Let me know what you guys think about that. Backstage, Seth was consoling, I guess if you want to use that word, Buddy Murphy, who was in pain after the attack by Owens, Joe, and the Viking Raiders. Caruso asked them if they were caught in a surprise attack or they were unprepared. Seth denied being caught off guard. Said Seth and Joe were hiding behind the Viking Raiders and called them Neanderthals. Said they are challenging the Raiders for their tag team titles tonight. Seth said he and Murphy would be teaming together, and AOP didn't even bat an eyelash at this request. See, this is where I have a problem with this show. This is where I have a problem with this show. So Rollins breathes. He breathes in the air that is backstage at Monday Night Raw, and all of a sudden he gets a title shot. Can someone please fill me in on why this is logical? I can't wait for one of these fucking cretins in the community to justify why Seth Rollins is getting a title shot with Buddy Murphy for the tag team titles. I don't understand that. He didn't do anything to deserve a tag team title shot. Buddy Murphy lost 3 fucking matches to Aleister Black. He hasn't won a fucking match on this goddamn show. He's getting a title shot? Why did you enlist a tag team in Akam and Razor for them not to get a tag team title shot? See the questions? I got a variety of questions here that will go forever unanswered. I don't understand that. This show pisses me off. It really does. I don't even know why you enlist AOP if they're not going to be the tag team to take out the tag team champions. What is with this company and fusing together teams that aren't legit tag teams? I don't understand that. I really don't. Anyway, we'll do more complaining later on, believe me. Andrade with Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio, United States Championship ladder match. I don't know why this opened the show. I understand WWE wants to get off on the right foot. They want to start the show off with a bang. But I mean, give me a break. This was the biggest match on the show. And then Lesnar showed up in the first hour. He wasn't in the main event. They had nothing planned for him on the go-home show, even though he's drawing number 1 in the Royal Rumble, right? They had McIntyre and Randy Orton. That happened within the first hour and a half. Becky Lynch came out. She was on the show. This should have been in the main event of the show. Why are you opening with this? There's no reason that you could justify this not being in the main event. You could have easily opened this show with McIntyre and Randy Orton. But what the fuck do I know? Andrade with Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio. This was very good for what it was. Now, I am not a fan, I don't know who is, of watching a ladder match with fucking 3 commercial breaks in between. Really takes you out of the goddamn action and the story that they're trying to tell. This is why it's good and evil when watching a ladder match on basic TV during a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. You don't get the full effect of the ladder match. You're missing half of the story when you got to sit through as many commercial breaks as we've seen in this match. Either way, I'm not going to talk about the commercial breaks. I'm sure you guys felt the same way about that. But, man, oh man, these guys absolutely killed themselves for the United States Championship. All the more reason why they should have been in the main event. Would have been a great spotlight for the United States Championship that absolutely deserves and needs a spotlight on it, especially with these 2 guys going for the United States Championship. This went 18 minutes. They didn't do anything flashy. I mean, it's Rey Mysterio. He still does a little flash. Andrade doesn't really do flash. Everything he does is smooth and just great anyway. Both of these guys are fucking fantastic at what they do. But they didn't go in there with the intent of being flashy. They didn't go in there with the intent of, you know, wowing everybody with like fucking topes and 630s and all this other shit that you usually see in a ladder match nowadays. They didn't go in there and be different. They went in there and made the title the most important thing in the match. And that is something that you don't usually see in a title match, especially in WWE. Ladder matches are all about, oh, what type of spots are they going to be talking about 3 months from now? How could we kill ourselves? How can we break a limb? How could we tease the audience on, you know, what limb we're going to break next? And, you know, how many hours am I going to spend in the emergency room, you know, fixing myself off of this one move? You know, it was none of that. It was none of that. This was all about the United States Championship. It was physical. It was brutal. And they took bumps. They saved the big bumps for you to just sit there and believe, oh shit, this match is over. One of these guys is going to win. They never did anything to just steal that spotlight away from the United States Championship, if you guys try to get what I'm saying here. It was all about the title. It was never about them. They did everything to take each other out for the title. They didn't do, shit to take each other out just for social media likes and fucking gifs, So I was very happy to see that. Now, there was a spot right before they went to commercial break. I don't know if it was a situation where Rey Mysterio just overshot him or if it was something with the ladder being out of position. But man, Rey Mysterio was up top and did a Frankensteiner or Hurricane Rana off the top rope to Andrade. And where the ladder was positioned down below, Andrade he was supposed to land what I believe to be back first on the ladder from the Hurricane Rana position. He flipped from the Hurricane Rana position down to the mat, and his neck and the back of his head hit the side of the ladder that was lying on the mat down below. That was a scary, scary, scary situation. Now, thankfully, when we got back from commercial break, because right after that they went to commercial, it was A-okay. He was up. He was doing what he had to do. But man, oh man, that was fucking brutal. I was worried for a little bit. I was like, my jaw hit the fucking floor in my living room watching that. And I was like, I don't know if this match can continue through the commercial break. And then when we got back, he was back up doing what he's got to do. So Rey had Andrade down at ringside. He leapt off the top rope onto Andrade with I believe it was a seated senton, which looked so beautiful. These guys work so good together. Both were down, slow to get up, and Rey set up a ladder, a tall ladder, in the middle of the ring. Andrade climbed back into the ring, pulled on Rey's feet. Andrade caught Rey going for Hurricane Rana off the ropes and powerbombed him onto a ladder bridged over the rope and the middle rung of the ladder that was standing up. So Andrade went for a razor's edge. Rey countered with a leg scissor, sending Andrade through the ropes to the floor. That looked devastating. He flew through the ropes off that head scissors. Rey then climbed the ladder, got close to the belt again. Andrade climbed the other side, punched Rey just as he's got his hands on the belt. So Rey's head goes into the ladder. He set up Rey Mysterio on top of the ladder for a big move. I don't know what the fuck he was going for, but there was another ladder. First of all, there was a ladder standing up in the middle of the ring. There was two ladders bridged. One of them went and got broken. There was another one on the other side. I don't know what he was going for. I looked like he was going for some type of move where he was going to have Rey on his back and then drive him face first off his back right down through the ladder. So that obviously did not happen. And Rey countered that and powerbombed Andrade onto the bridging ladder, so that broke. Andrade's impact bent the ladder. Rey recovered and knocked a ladder out of the ring, drop-kicked Andrade into the middle rope, went for the 619. He connected. Andrade fell to the floor. Rey looked up at the belt. He grabbed the ladder, and he went up, and he was hanging on the... I guess the bar that's holding the belt, he's just hanging up there, which I don't like. I don't like when they do that because, it looks so stupid. Like Rey Mysterio was climbing the ladder, legitimately. He was climbing the ladder, and he pretended to not grab the ladder, and he had just enough time to unhook the belt and take the belt down and win the match, and he was up there fiddling around with the shit, and then he gets caught, just hanging up there with the United States Championship. So Rey is dangling. Rey dropped into the arms of Andrade, and then Andrade powerbombed him. So Andrade charged Rey, who was backdropped, and then Selena climbed the ladder. Selena climbed the ladder, and she sat on top of the ladder while Rey Mysterio tried to climb up there, coming off the powerbomb. So she sat up there, and she was blocking Rey. She slapped him in the face, yelling at him. Andrade then grabbed Rey from behind and DDT'd him through a ladder that was again set up as like a little ladder bridge. DDT'd him. He did the hammerlock DDT off the ladder. The ladder broke in half. Both were slow to get up. Andrade climbed the ladder. Selena was there cheering him on. Rey didn't move. Andrade pulled the belt down and he retained the United States Championship. So that was that. Andrade wins a great match, and I love the fact that it was about the United States Championship. and not so much about who could outdo who with high-risk offense in this match. It was sloppy at some parts. It was brutal. It was intense. But in the end, you got to give respect to both guys because they absolutely killed each other for the sake of the United States Championship. So afterwards, Selena pulled away at the ring mat, and Andrade was getting up to hammerlock DDT Rey Mysterio onto the concrete. Suddenly, a man in a Rey Mysterio mask showed up, and I wonder who that could be. Obviously, it was Humberto Carrillo, and he drove Andrade, and they both, went right into the mat down below. They were brawling. Selena ran away before she could do anything. Andrade got up, and he ran away, and the fight looked decent. But I'll tell you what, you know what else happened? Humberto unmasked himself to zero reaction. And this is WWE's fault. First of all, it's not all WWE. It's them pushing Humberto, who they don't give a shit about. How many times do I have to tell you about Humberto Carrillo? The guy was a loser before he even got put into this feud with Andrade. They had him lose 6 weeks in a row when he was battling the OC. So why would anybody believe that this guy is now all of a sudden a winner? I don't get that logic. Him beating Andrade for the United States Championship is anything but the right decision. Putting that United States Championship on Humberto Carrillo is absolutely the worst decision that this creative team could possibly make. He will not get the title over. He himself is not even over. I don't know what the fuck you expect to do with him as the United States champion. Nobody believes in him. There's no doubt in my mind that those two are going to put on a great match, but what is it going to mean in the end when the guy challenging for the belt is a loser in everybody's eyes? I don't get it. I think you just got to suck it up, WWE, and realize that Humberto Carrillo is a loser. And he's a loser because you took him from 205 Live where nobody gave a shit about him. Nobody knew who he was. And you took him off 205 Live to put him on Raw via the draft. Nobody knew who he was. He just showed up and you expected people to fucking be invested in him. You didn't give us a video package. You didn't give us a backstory on who he was. Just threw him out there as if we were expecting some type of fucking reaction. And that's not the way this works, you know? A lot of people tend to think, oh, well, he is wrestling the style that everybody seems to like nowadays. It doesn't work that way. If there is no backstory and there's no reason for me to care about somebody like Humberto Carrillo, I'll tell you what, man, I'm not going to care. And there's no way in hell I would look at Humberto and say, you know what? I want him to beat Andrade. No. And if you're looking long-term here, I do not picture that as a WrestleMania match. WrestleMania is supposed to be the night for the best matches of the entire year. If you think that is the top match you do for the United States Championship at WrestleMania, half of that creative team should be fucking fired on the spot. That is awful. Awful. WWE's got to do better. There's no reason why Aleister Black is not in that position. There's no reason why you didn't build up Ricochet for that position. Come on. Aleister Black, Ricochet, you're going with fucking Humberto Carrillo? Mr. Dimples? Moving on. Speaking of Aleister Black, he went up against some no-name jobber. Aleister Black's entrance lasted longer than this match. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. He made his entrance with the creepy fucking cracks of his coffin raising up. Walked down to the ring. He did his thing. He sat in the ring. He took his coat off. This fucking idiot ran at Aleister Black. Black mess. 1, 2, 3. Aleister Black went to go sit right back down. That's it, JD? Yeah, that's it. I'll tell you why they did this match the way that it came off tonight. Remember last week when Buddy Murphy, quote-unquote, kicked out of the Black Mass? WWE wants to make you forget about that, and they need to instill in you again that the Black Mass is still lights out. That's why they did it. Aleister Black wins, and now we're back. Being that Buddy Murphy is now a disciple of Rollins, Aleister Black is back to doing job matches against local indie enhancement, Petco, Stop and Shop, Walmart, Target, Sephora talent. Great. Awesome. You know what else is awesome? The fine people who are sponsoring this show tonight. Harry's. You guys know about me and Harry's, man. How does Harry's tie into your New Year's resolution? Manage your personal finances. Razors can be expensive. But at $2 per blade, Harry's saves you money all year long. I wish I could save myself from watching this show, but I can't be so lucky. Take better care of yourself. Harry's makes award-winning razors along with a whole range of grooming essentials to keep your 2020 routine in tip-top shape. Now, I shaved. I look great. And I look great because I use a Harry's razor, man. I never cut myself. I never get any skin irritation. It's always the closest shave possible. And the one thing I love about Harry's, man, they got that little trimmer blade on the opposite end of the razor blade for those fine cuts. And it's just precision all the way through, man. I love it. That's how I get my beard so beautiful and crisp every single week. Harry's wants you guys to start your new year off right. Now we're in January. We're almost through January into February, but new customers get $5 off a Harry's trial set when you go to harrys.com/scripts. Now, Harry's knows a great shave, and they know a great shave doesn't come from flex balls or heated handles, gimmicks, tactics that the leading brands have used to raise prices for decades. Harry's is a return to the essential, I wish I could say that about Monday Night Raw, quality craftsmanship at a fair price. I wish I had quality creative on Monday night. How do they do it? Harry's team combined a simple ergonomic design with 5 sharp blades. They source their steel from Sweden and manufacture their blades in their world-class factory in Germany. They cut out the middleman and they ship directly to you, saving you money and time. 100% quality guarantee. Harry stands behind the quality of their products. If you don't love your shave, let them know and they will give you a full refund. So Harry's has a special offer for everybody listening to the podcast tonight. New customers get $5 off a trial set at harrys.com/script. You'll get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover. Join the millions of guys who have already switched and go to harrys.com/script to claim your offer today. And I want to thank them for supporting the Monday Night Podcast right here on Off the Script. Great product, guys. I urge you guys to go out there and get yourself some Harry's. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar walked out. They played a clip of the interactions between Lesnar and Truth last week, which was, I gotta admit, funny. Heyman said he is the soothsayer of the spoiler. He said fans aren't appreciating Lesnar, and they take him for granted. I wonder how much of that is a shoot on himself, that they don't really look at him and appreciate what he's doing for Monday Night Raw. Makes you wonder. You know, Lesnar's Lesnar. Lesnar's going to have his critics. Lesnar's going to have his fans. But how much of that is more about Paul Heyman than it is about Brock Lesnar? Said he wanted the crowd to be more impressed with the notion that Lesnar will outlast 29 opponents on Sunday, despite Lesnar making his spoilers look easy. Said Lesnar would win the Rumble, and the Rumble winner gets to choose which champion he faces at WrestleMania. Said Lesnar has deemed nobody in the back worthy, and I am with Lesnar, and I stand with Lesnar on this. I deem nobody worthy either, as far as them challenging for the WWE Championship or facing him one-on-one at WrestleMania. So, fans are booing, and Heyman stopped and took offense to their booing. Heyman asked if anyone in the back really would step up, and if the fans think anybody is in the back ready and willing to step up, or if they think anybody's ready and willing to step up, please, I'll wait. So will I. So we waited. And then out comes the resident superhero of Monday Night Raw, Ricochet. And I start laughing. I legit start laughing. Because, not that I don't like Ricochet, or I'm not a fan of Ricochet, and because this show is making me less of a fan of Ricochet, to be quite honest with you. But I'm laughing because nobody watching and nobody sitting there legitimately gives a shit about Ricochet, and nobody will ever believe Ricochet in this moment, ever. So Ricochet's got a microphone. He says a lot of wrestlers are nervous about facing Lesnar in the Rumble. Said he is not one of them because every time he steps into the ring, he takes chances that could result in injury. So facing Lesnar doesn't scare him. He challenged Lesnar to a fight right here on Monday Night Raw. Lesnar and Heyman blew him off and left the ring. Ricochet's left standing alone in the middle of the ring. And then he looks back at Lesnar and says, whoa, where you going? He asked if Lesnar is scared. Again, I laughed. I thought I was watching a comedy show on Monday Night Raw. So Lesnar stopped and returned. And by the way, when Ricochet's in the ring and Heyman's in the ring and Lesnar, before they walked out, Lesnar's doing one of these and laughing. Was this guy fucking for real? So he legitimately walked right by him like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Seriously. I was even saying, bro, get out of the ring. Titus has got a freshly baked crumb cake right out of the oven catering, bro. Go sit down and shut the hell up, really. So Lesnar stopped and returned to the ring, and he kicked Ricochet right in the dick. That's exactly what he did. He then bent over, picked up the microphone, and told Ricochet, not scared. And that was it. Folks, I know a lot of you guys have loved the sound samples that I've been doing on the podcast. I have one specifically for Ricochet here, and this is what I came up with as far as Ricochet in this segment. Oh my God, man. Can you make this guy look any more like a loser? Seriously. What was the fucking purpose of this segment? I don't get it. It's as if this was done by design to show everybody how WWE does not like, or Ricochet is in the doghouse, how they will not push Ricochet on this show in his current state. That's all this was. It was a reiteration and a stamp of disapproval by Vince McMahon. This is them not doing anything with Ricochet and them telling you without actually telling you. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, this is leading to Ricochet getting his big moment in the Royal Rumble. Folks, I don't know what the fuck you've been smoking. I could be wrong. I don't fucking know, but, I mean, give me a break. With the way this guy's been booked on this show in the last 6 months, give me a break. He's going to be the one to eliminate Brock Lesnar? That is not a WrestleMania match in my eyes. Ricochet should be challenging for the United States Championship. We should be seeing Ricochet and Black. We should be seeing Ricochet and Andrade, Black and Andrade. We should be seeing that type of matchup for Ricochet at WrestleMania. Ricochet and Rey Mysterio. Why are we getting Ricochet coming out here confronting Brock Lesnar right before the Royal Rumble, teasing, oh, I'm going to stand up to you in the Royal Rumble. I'm not scared. No, you're not scared, but you look like a fucking loser because nobody believes in anything that you have to tell them. And that's not your fault. That's WWE's creative's fault. So I don't know why they would throw him out there in that position. I don't know why you couldn't throw anybody else out there in this situation. Why couldn't you throw Drew McIntyre out there? His match was coming up next with Randy Orton. Why couldn't you have him show up? And Brock Lesnar wouldn't have to kick anybody in the dick. He could stand face-to-face and give you a tease about standing face-to-face with Drew McIntyre. I would have even taken Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was interviewed recently, and he said the only reason why he came back to the WWE was because he wanted a match with Brock Lesnar. And they got him in this storyline with Lana, Rusev, and Liv Morgan. How do you think he feels? I would have even taken Bobby Lashley. You know, I even said it on social media, and I know they're probably saving it for the Royal Rumble, keeping my fingers crossed. Could have paid for Matt Riddle's flight to Kansas and have him come out as a surprise. Bro, I'm entering the Royal Rumble. Where are you? I'll meet you there. I'll see you in Houston. Something. This was awful. This was absolutely awful for Ricochet. I don't know how that made Ricochet look good. I don't know who could justify that type of segment for Ricochet on Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. This was actually very good. Drew McIntyre has just been killing it in the ring on Monday night. He's been killing it on Raw, period. So I'm happy to see him find some level of success here and actually be on some sort of momentum going into the Royal Rumble. So we got these two, and I don't know what happened here. Apparently, this was a no contest. Soon as the OC. Now, towards the end of this thing, we got Drew McIntyre going for a Claymore kick. He does the 3, 2, 1, and he's about to Claymore kick Randy Orton. And then Randy Orton turns that into a running power slam, which looked very good. So we got the OC coming out here, and the referee immediately bailed from the ring. I didn't hear any bell. There was no bell that went off. He didn't call for a DQ. He didn't call for anything. He just got out of there and let the OC do everything that they wanted to do, which I didn't understand. It's like he took the fucking rest of the night off, this referee. So the OC's out there, and they ran out, stomped away at Drew McIntyre. Drew fought back. AJ chop blocked his leg. Orton returned to the ring with a chair in hand, cleared out the ring of AJ, Gallows, and Anderson. And then Orton turned to Drew McIntyre with a chair in hand, and it looked like they were going to go battle it out. So Orton throws the chair down, and he utters something to Drew McIntyre along the lines of, "You're a tough son of a bitch. That's all I know." So he walks away from Drew McIntyre. He's about to exit the ring. Drew McIntyre turns around, which kind of makes him look silly. I don't know why you would ever trust Randy Orton when they call him the Viper. So Randy Orton then eventually turns around. He sees that moment of weakness in Drew McIntyre and gave him an RKO. That was it. That was it. And Drew McIntyre got the RKO. So Drew McIntyre then on the ground selling the RKO, asks for a microphone. He calls Randy's name, saying Randall Keith Orton. And then he throws the microphone down, which was working fine, and asks for a properly working microphone. I don't know what the hell that was about. So that's why they call it the RKO out of nowhere. He said that's not going to happen again. He said on Sunday he prays to God that they end up in the ring together during the Royal Rumble, because he's going to kick his head off his damn shoulders, and he's going to win the Royal Rumble. And finally, after all this time, Drew McIntyre will main event WrestleMania. I like it. I like it. It's another stamp on somebody who I am picking outside of the Riddles and the Cenas. He's my pick to win the Royal Rumble. The only other legitimate... Samoa Joe's another one, but I don't see Samoa Joe winning the Royal Rumble. I would even take that if WWE wants to go in a completely different route that nobody's thinking about. I could see Joe and Lesnar at WrestleMania for the WWE title, but I don't think that is going to happen. But McIntyre's promo was awesome. Him declaring that he's going to main event WrestleMania is awesome. And more times than not, when somebody says that, it never happens. But we'll see. We'll see. Rollins said that he was going to slay the beast, and he did that. Maybe McIntyre says he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. I don't know. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. But I was also thinking, if Drew McIntyre doesn't win the Royal Rumble, you know, they were enemies, and then they were respectful of each other, then they were enemies again. I said, and they're both quote-unquote baby faces. You know, McIntyre got some boos because Randy Orton's obviously the bigger fan favorite. But McIntyre is, I guess, getting that babyface reaction slowly but surely. I was thinking, if Edge is going to be in the Royal Rumble, per rumor, and they're looking for something for him to do at WrestleMania, and if they want to continue using Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, and McIntyre really doesn't go on to win the Royal Rumble, I could see McIntyre, Orton, and Edge teaming up against AJ, Gallows, and Anderson at WrestleMania in Tampa. That could be awesome. That could be awesome. Orton and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre could kind of join forces as a, I guess you're my enemy, but, we have the same enemy here in the OC, so we might as well just team up and take them out, and then we could go back to doing what we have to do to one-up each other And then Edge and Randy Orton, obviously rated RKO. They got a history. I think it would make sense. It would be easy on Edge, not give him a singles match, immediately coming back, get his feet wet at WrestleMania, give him that big WrestleMania moment coming back. I think it makes sense. Because if Drew McIntyre doesn't win the Royal Rumble, what is he going to do at WrestleMania? What are you going to put him? Where are you going to put him? Who are you going to put him with? Randy Orton. What is he going to do? Edge. What are you going to do with him? Seems like everybody else in that show is going to be tied up. And AJ, what is he going to do at WrestleMania that he has not already done? And the OC, what are they going to do at WrestleMania? Kind of seems perfect for me. I don't know what you guys think about that. Let me know down in the comment section below. Moving on into the second hour, we got Becky Lynch and Asuka this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. I'm actually looking forward to it. The story seemed to kind of die off in the last couple of weeks, but I'm still excited about what Becky and Asuka do in a rematch from last year's Royal Rumble. So Becky was going one-on-one with Kairi Sane tonight. Kairi Sane's back from the concussion injury. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Before the match, she actually cut a promo, and she said the man has come around to Kansas. Cheap pop. She said last week Asuka did her a favor. She said when she sprayed mist in her eyes, she made her see things more clearly than ever. Had another Edge-ism. I see things clearly. Alter Bridge, Metalingus, blah, blah, blah. You guys get it. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just anticipating Edge on Sunday, so we'll see what happens there. She said maybe it's Asuka who should be doubting herself. Maybe she's doubting herself because that might explain the sneak attacks and why she's facing her tag team partner, Kairi Sane, rather than going to war with her tonight. Well, Becky, let me tell you something. WWE usually gives away pay-per-view matches for free 6 days before the pay-per-view, but it's not really logical to give away a pay-per-view match 6 nights away before they actually give it to you on pay-per-view. So that's just me. I don't know what you're thinking about that, but more than likely I'm the one in the right here. So she said Asuka beat her at the Rumble last year, but who won in the end? Meaning that she won the Royal Rumble and went on to WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. She said she went on to make history all around the world while you went on YouTube to make soup. She said she's going to collect one last debt at the Rumble to prove you can't beat me anymore. Licking the lips and fucking puckering up to the camera. It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling Becky Lynch anymore. It's so hit and miss with Becky Lynch. Some days she comes off legit and direct, and then some days she comes off very forced. I don't know what it is. Match should be great, but Becky Lynch needs to do a little bit more Conor McGregor and not scripted WWE garbage. That's just the way I feel. So we got Becky Lynch versus Kairi Sane. This one went 8 minutes. Becky wins here. This was bad. This was really bad. I don't know about you guys, and I'll probably get lynched by the Becky Lynch bots on Twitter, but this sucked. I don't know if it's more Kairi Sane than Becky. I don't know if it's more Becky than Kairi Sane. I don't know if it's a mixture of both. I really don't. Maybe Kairi Sane was not ready to come back. That's what I heard. But if she wasn't ready to come back, then WWE undoubtedly wouldn't have cleared her. So what is it? I don't know what it is. Maybe Becky wanted to take, a Miz approach on Kairi Sane and go soft and protect Kairi because she knew what happened last time. I don't know. All I know is, you want to know the observation that I see when I watch Kairi Sane wrestle? I watch somebody who has undoubtedly hit the ceiling on Monday Night Raw, and she knows it. She knows it. I watch somebody who does not want to be there. I watch somebody that is lacking the intensity that I know she has. I watch somebody who is not as physical as I remember her being. I don't know what it is. It just looks it looks like Kairi Sane is legitimately, they say going through the motions. It looks like Kairi Sane is going through the motions. It looks like legitimately she does not want to be there. She might be mulling that Stardom off, or she might be thinking, well, Stardom wants me. I'll be back to my old ways. And I'll be making just as much money, if not more, from Stardom if I go back home. Maybe she's thinking that. I don't know what this woman wants. Does she want to stay in the WWE and just be at that level, knowing that she's not going to exceed that glass ceiling that Vince McMahon has definitely put over her? Or does she want more out of her career? Or is she happy with her career where she don't care? I don't know. But what I see, my observations, is I see somebody that doesn't give a shit. And this was bad. And it came off that way. Becky Lynch wins, disarm her. The cool thing about this match is that Asuka, in the middle of the match, was in the ring, but not in the ring. She was sitting on the steel post, watching this match from the steel post. Front row viewing for Asuka. After the match, Asuka came in to attack Becky, gave her a shining wizard to break the disarmor, and then applied the Asuka lock. Then she kicked her in the face and ranted and screamed, and that was pretty much it. So we got the match on Sunday. I didn't like it. I thought the match was really bad for who was in the ring, and that's a shame. Going into hour 3, we got Asuka and Kairi Sane walking backstage. Sarah Schreiber, however you pronounce her name, asked Asuka if she wants to be known as a champion who uses toxins to gain an advantage. Asuka yelled in Japanese. I don't know what she said, but it came off scary. And then yelled that Becky is not ready for Asuka at the Royal Rumble. And then she started laughing, ha 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 ha, and walked off. Before we get into the Viking Raiders versus Seth Rollins, guys, I have one more sponsor for tonight's show. Quickly, tonight's sponsor is Honey. JoinHoney.com. And if you guys don't know what Honey is a free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. And you know how great it feels to save money. I wish I knew how great it was to not watch Monday Night Raw. How does it feel to save money with Honey? Saving with Honey feels like sliding into a seat on the train just before the doors close, hitting every green light on your way to work, finishing up this podcast right before you walk into work. Because JD's got you, bro. JD's got you. Now, I used Honey, actually, to be quite honest with you. I shop on Amazon every holiday season, and I saved a ton of money on gifts for my family, gifts for my grandma, gifts for my cats. I saved money using Honey. Now, I felt great. And come the holidays, I hate spending money on Christmas. I'm a Grinch, legitimately, so if I could spend some money and then save some money in the end, I'm a very happy guy. I'm much less a Grinch during the holiday season. Honey has found over 18 million members, just $2 billion in savings. Just over $2 billion in savings. Did you know Honey supports over 30,000 stores online too, including Macy's, Target, Sephora, Best Buy, and more? Amazon is another one of them. And they're adding more stores every single day. Users love Honey. That's why it has over 100,000 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store. Using Honey feels pretty damn good, man. Think of it as a little daily victory. Because I know how you guys feel when you watch Monday Night Raw. You don't feel like a victor. You feel like a loser. Don't feel like a loser. Use Honey. Plus, it's free, and it installs in just a few seconds. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/offthescript. That's joinhoney.com/offthescript. And I want to thank them for supporting the Monday Night Raw podcast right here on Off the Script. Quickly, Viking Raiders versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy with the AOP. Rollins and Murphy win the WWE Raw Tag Team titles tonight and are the new Tag Team Champions. I ask why. I don't know why. I got more questions than I got answers. First of all, Buddy Murphy is listen, I don't want this to come off in a negative way because I love Buddy Murphy. I've been praising him up and down for forever. But legitimately, from what we see on WWE TV, Buddy Murphy is a loser. Buddy Murphy has lost 3 times to Aleister Black. He joined Seth Rollins, and now I am to believe, this is one of my main concerns, the guy lost 3 times to Aleister Black, teams with Seth Rollins in his first night, wins the Tag Team Championships. You mean to tell me that after what we've seen on WWE television, I am to believe that Buddy Murphy is holding a championship before Aleister Black? How is this right? How does this make any sense? I don't understand that. Here's my other question that I raised earlier. Why is Rollins adding guys like Akam and Razor to the group? Why did he enlist the services of the Authors of Pain, who are, a tag team on Monday night, all for him to go out there and say that he and Buddy Murphy are going to challenge the Viking Raiders for the tag team championships? But you got these two guys behind you right there who are a legit tag team. Now, in either situation, AOP didn't do anything to deserve tag team titles, but neither did Rollins and Buddy Murphy. The point I'm trying to make is, what is it with this company using makeshift tag teams instead of actual tag teams on these shows? I would have been a little bit more understanding if the AOP beat the Viking Raiders for the tag team championships, but instead we got Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy winning the tag team championships, and they are not a legit tag team. You see, the way I would have did it is AOP went after the tag team titles, and we got Buddy Murphy going after a mid-card title. I don't understand the logic with these people that Rollins needs to hold a major championship or a world championship, a major championship on this show. Why? Isn't he beyond that? Isn't he beyond that? His role, now correct me if I'm wrong, I could be totally off base with this. Isn't his role now as a cult leader to lead his disciples to victory? Why does he need to be victorious? Why does he need to take, and not give? This is not right. Rollins doesn't need to be a champion. That's not his role at this moment. His role is to guide Murphy to championships and AOP to championships. They just got it backwards. Again, I can't justify Buddy Murphy losing and then winning a championship ahead of Aleister Black when Aleister Black has been winning. And now Murphy is a tag team champion when he went 0-3 against Aleister Black in the last month and a half. I don't know what you want me to say about that. Seriously. What is it with this company using these types of tag teams to win tag team championships? And then the AOP stand behind Rollins and Murphy when they win, and they just look without batting an eye. They're okay with it. Now, I am trying to find some positive in this. Murphy is being pushed. You know, it's something that we really didn't anticipate, especially this quickly. Murphy's being pushed. It looks like Murphy's being treated well. He's got some gold around his shoulder now. But to me, it's just creatively backwards. It really is just creatively backwards. And I pitched, a couple of weeks ago, that the Rollins stable is going to battle Owens and Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. I predicted that it would have been AOP. I even creatively planned out AOP beating the Viking Raiders before WrestleMania, around this time period. Beating them for the tag team championships, and then having Joe and Kevin Owens take it off of them at WrestleMania. That's what I would have did. Now, it looks like we could be very well on our way to getting that, but without the AOP, instead with Rollins and Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania against Joe and Kevin Owens. But where does that leave AOP? Is AOP nothing more than background players in this thing? They look stupid. They got a legit tag team in AOP, and they're not using them as a legit tag team. Buddy Murphy didn't need... You know, a lot of people are going to say, well, Buddy Murphy's a tag team champion, JD. This is what you wanted. They're building him up. You know, hey, the championships didn't mean anything. And Murphy doesn't need championships at this moment. You see, his championship, his biggest thing right now was just standing next to Seth Rollins, feeding off of Seth Rollins. That was what was making him legit. He didn't need a Raw Tag Team Championship. So I don't know why everybody is going to sit there and tell me that I'm wrong. I know I am not wrong. I don't get this creative decision. Now, I'm looking at it in another way as well. The Viking Raiders weren't doing anything with those tag team championships, but I would have rather them lose to a legit tag team in this instance instead of Rollins and Buddy Murphy. That's just me. But what do I know? Moving on, we got another Street Profits SNL weekend update. I don't know why we are seeing more of these weekend updates on this. Can this be safe for WWE Backstage? Please. Can we use the Street Profits on this show? I don't know. As far as a tag team, this is what I don't get. This is what they do with their tag teams. Shit comedy on Monday Night Raw. And who watches Saturday Night Live? Losers. That show is painfully unfunny. I don't know who is watching Saturday Night Live for WWE to do spoofs of SNL. This was awful. And your weekly update of remember when the Street Profits were cool? Yeah, I don't. Matt Hardy versus Erick Rowan. This one went 2 minutes. Rowan wins with a bloody claw slam. Oh, man. Matt Hardy was actually trending top 10 on Twitter tonight because of his loss. Everybody is just really fucking pissed off. Free the Delete? Oh, he'll be free. March 1st. He'll be done. And his exit will be, quote-unquote, dynamite. Pun intended. This was awful. Stay classy, WWE. You got a Hall of Famer in Matt Hardy, and all because he doesn't want to sign an extension with you because he knows what his fate is if he stays with you. This is what you do to him. Burial. And for the idiots out there that say Matt Hardy sucks and he's old and he's got nothing left to offer, you're a complete idiot. A complete idiot. Watch him go to AEW and be the biggest thing in pro wrestling again. Watch. When he's unveiled as the Exalted One with the Dark Order, then everybody's going to be sucking his dick. Watch. Rowan wins in 2 minutes. Rowan, I don't know where they're going with this. At this point, again, I'm going to say it again for a fucking 8th week in a row. I still don't think WWE knows what's in the cage. Honestly, I don't. A red marker at this point? Clearly. Matt Hardy's fucking expiring contract? Give me a break. Schreiber interviewed KO and Joe backstage. She asked what's next for them now that Seth and Murphy are tag team champions. Yeah, WrestleMania is around the corner. Watch. So they both declared themselves for the Rumble match. KO said they'll take care of the tag team title situation eventually. Just like I said, teased. But for the Rumble, it's the first time he shares something in common with Buddy and Seth. He will not only win the Royal Rumble, but he will main event WrestleMania. And he will make sure Seth and Buddy don't. Joe said, the Rumble is the epitome of every man for himself. I'm with you in this Rollins and Murphy deal, but if I see you in the Rumble, I'm going to eliminate you, and you're not taking my WrestleMania moment away from me. So I'm glad that they are on the same page here when it comes to the Royal Rumble. Mojo Rawley was backstage. He was being interviewed, I don't know why, by Charlie Caruso. She asked him what it meant when he said that he was going to be a different kind of 24/7 champion. So he's not going to be the type of champion who flees at the sight of danger. I wish he would just flee, period. The Singh brothers tried to roll Mojo up in some comedy shit. He did not move, and then he slammed them both into a travel case or a production crate. So that was pretty much it. Let me type in here. Let me go to Wrestling Inc. Take my notes away here because I didn't watch the main event, so I don't know who won. Let's see. Let's go to the main event here. Lashley and Lana versus Liv Morgan and Rusev. What does it say here? Lana threw Liv out of the ring. Liv then gave Lashley an enziguri. Rusev kicked Lashley in the head. Lana grabbed his leg. Lashley then speared Rusev for the 1, 2, 3. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I'm glad I didn't watch this match. I'm glad that I saved myself the 6 minutes of fucking god-awful promo and the 4 minutes of god-awful match that was to come after that god-awful promo. I know how I would have felt if I watched that main event on Monday Night Raw. There you go. Like Solid Snake fucking losing to, Liquid Snake. Fucking ridiculous. What else do I got? That one or how about this one? I'm getting out of here, man. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys so very much, man. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're new around here. I will be back. I don't think there'll be an OTS Elite this week. There's no AEW news. And they're all on the cruise getting drunk. I wish I was. You know, how jealous of everybody, watching at home are you guys about everybody being on that cruise, you know? I'm sure everybody on that cruise is so envious that we had to watch this fucking shit show tonight named Monday Night Raw. Anyway, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, leave me a like and all that shit, man. Share it, helps the video out. Follow me on social media at JD2MY206. And I will see you guys right back here with more content during the week. I don't know what's coming, but I'll probably see you back here for more wrestling content on Wednesday when we got AEW Dynamite on the Jericho Rock and Rager at Sea. Until then, take care, guys, and I'll see you right back here for more content on the channel. See you guys later.